Good morning, preppers. I feel I need to do an update on the bank situation as far as the bank failures go. And we may actually have a few videos coming out today just to simply give you the updates because this is such an urgent and dangerous situation. Of course, stock markets opened this morning and multiple bank stock trading halted due to volatility. And since the Great Depression happened the first time, there's actually been specific rules and regulations put in place on the stock market that they'll halt trading if things start to drop or become too volatile too quickly. Following the Silicon Valley Bank closing that dominated headlines this weekend, multiple bank stock trading has been halted today due to volatility. Specifically, Charles Schwab, Western Alliance, and First Alliance. Biden today said regarding SVB's closure, subsequently, the president assured the public that the banking system is safe despite the closures that occurred over the course of the weekend. And for the New York Times, signature banks collapse fueled by crypto bets and run on deposits. So in case you don't truly know what's happening here, you can actually make a bank fail if you simply just make it so the public who has the deposits in the bank feel insecure and they'll take the deposits out. And that's exactly what happened with Silicon Valley specifically. Silicon Valley Bank was actually set up as a bank to fund startup businesses, major multi-million-dollar businesses, and they didn't do very well. And because of that, it became shaky. That news got out, and so the depositors started pulling their money out, and boom, next thing you know, the bank collapsed. Silicon Valley is a very interesting case. And the only good note about this, I want a lot of you to take rest assurance from this, and that's the important moral of this video, is if you actually are like me and you don't have $250,000 in a deposit in there, FDIC will cover it. And on a good note, again, this is a very rest assuring note, that people who have less than $250,000, they said that they're actually going to be getting their money today. Unfortunately, on a very, very bad note, a catastrophic note, what we're seeing is this, that most of the people who actually hold accounts in that bank have well over $250,000. We're talking about sometimes multi-million dollars accounts, and they've been stopped and seized. And there's going to be some major corporations where they're not going to be getting their payroll checks, major corporations possibly failing because of this. So when we actually see people pulling that money out of the banks, we'll talk about that for you in a second, what you might want to do. It's not you and me that pull the money out. It's actually really a big problem. It's these major corporations doing this. And once you start getting that wind of problems, other banks start kicking in as well. And next thing you know, you have a whole slew of banks that have actually become shuttered and unsteady. And now they'll start failing as well. And that's the exact reason why this morning the stock market has actually stopped trading on a whole bunch of banks. There's more than that, by the way, as far as that in the news. Now, for you and me, let's say all you have is $1,000 to your name and you need that $1,000 to buy corned beef hash. I get it. If you want to pull it out of the bank, the amount you're going to be pulling out is inconsequential and will probably not cause that bank to crash. On that same note, think of it this way, that since you actually are covered under FDIC and the FDIC insurance seems to be working, that's such a relief. Well, you probably will get that money, but it may just be like a day or two before it gets into your hands. But if you want to start pulling your money out, I wouldn't judge you for that. It's a very scary situation we're in right now. But it looks like for us peons, it may not affect us so much in the short term, but in the long term, this literally is one of the catalysts today, mark this day, literally could be the beginning of the end as our financial system starts crashing and pushing us even further into a Great Depression. All right, keep watching today. We'll be putting more videos out as things continue because there's a lot more news here. And as far as prepping goes and preparedness, keeping up on the intelligence and as far as what's happening in the situation is vital. So stick with us. We'll put more videos out today and of course tomorrow too.